New 72 Radio, the voice, views, and visions of the collective.
Good evening. My name is Mary Berger, and welcome to Waking the Spirit. Thank you so much for joining us. And tonight, I have actually taken this show on the road, and I'm going to move over a little bit here so you can see this picture back here, if I have my hand in the right place. We are broadcasting live from the resort at Skamania Coves. Did I say that right? The resort at Skamania Coves, and we are actually in the River House with this beautiful backdrop. And the picture that you see here is actually kind of what we're looking at out this window right here. And it's absolutely gorgeous outside. So I'm super, super excited to be on the road. And I have two special guests tonight on my show, two very dear friends of mine. From New 72 Media, and I'm going to go ahead and just get started and bring them in. So I'm going to move over here, and the first person we have here, this is Kelli Lair from New 72 Media.
Yes, hello.
Hello. And this is Cinda Lonsway from New 72 Media. So thank you both for being on my show. I'm so excited to have you both here.
Well, thank you for having us. We're thrilled to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So we have a really special topic to talk about tonight. New 72 Media is just exploding right now in their offerings. So I wanted to bring them both on the show to kind of give you a flavor for who New 72 Media is, what they do, what they can offer you, and what new offerings they have that are super, super exciting right now. So Kelli, I'm going to start with you. And would you tell us, and maybe the two of you can kind of banter back and forth,
Absolutely.
how did the idea of New 72 Media come about?
Well, it was really a fun experience. Cinda and I had gone on a road trip to Seattle to participate in others, watching other spiritual speakers speak, a big event up there. And it was a great weekend for us, but while we were there, we just saw that there was an opportunity for the community that we were involved with to find and build a platform that those that weren't the Eckhart Tolles, Enduring Virtues, etc., could really speak their truth, to have a platform to do what we're doing here today and say, here we are, this is my vision, this is what I have to share with the world. And so that's really kind of how it began.
Yeah, we have amongst our circle some amazing healers, some amazing gifted spiritual people. And in the car ride home, we were like, these people we just saw are amazing, but they're sort of the old school. And we in our circle have players that are new and unknown. And how can we how can we create a platform to help show off these friends of ours, and give them a place to share their message, because these people need to be known, and these people need to be seen, and these people absolutely need to be heard. And a lot of those people are on New 72 now. So it's all rather exciting that they've stepped aboard.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me a little bit about the first offering that you had. Okay, so you had this vision while you're in the car ride home from Seattle about creating this platform. What was the first thing you did once you created this platform?
Well, I mean, first of all, I just got to go back. The creative process for me is I move a lot of energy, and that was like really a fabulous experience to go through that whole creative vision. But we reached out to another mutual friend of ours and brought her on board as we created the business, Mary Holden out of Arizona. So, but from there, what we, honoring the true vision of the community that we were involved with and wanting to create that first event for New 72, we did just that with the program Ascending Hearts, which was our first event that we managed, created from the very beginning. And we reached out to 4, including Cinda, 3 other individuals to participate with us. And that was David Palmer, Amira Beth, and Trinity Sheridan. And we had our first ever Ascending Hearts New 72 event up at Skamania Lodge in March of 2013. 2013, I believe it was.
13 or 12?
2013.
13, okay.
Yep, 2013.
And the amazing thing about Ascending Hearts is it was a weekend retreat actually up here in Stevenson, Washington. And it was a weekend long event from Friday through a Sunday. And we had a very successful turnout. And it actually launched, or at least was the beginning of what those of us within the group that were holding the retreat, what it would look like for us to actually do this for a living. I know that there are 2 of them in particular, Amira and David Palmer, that are excelling and living their lifelong dreams right now.
Yeah.
And to think that maybe we supported them along the way is rather hopeful to think about. And that was our mission, and that was our goal.
Exactly.
And that was the launching platform for New 72. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. And I know that I participated in the second Ascending Hearts, at least I think it was the second Ascending Hearts retreat or seminar. It was a 1-day seminar, I think the same summer, maybe the summer of 2013. And that's actually where I met you. It was at that Ascending Hearts conference where we had the 2 of you. It was all the same original people. So tell us a little bit about that day and how that came about.
That was really fun because what we did is we brought it back local into the local suburbs of Portland instead of being out to the Cove area, if you will. What was really cool about that is we utilized the technology because David couldn't join us from California. He couldn't drive up that time. So we brought him in, very similar to this kind of environment, and he did his what he does. He channeled the information for the participants. It was great. And it was a 1-day event. Again, left us really riding high. Amira, Trinity, Cinda, and again, New 72 did what it does, and it was successful as well. So another leg up, another level that we stepped onto, and it's like, okay, we just slowly kept on moving forward.
And there are no accidents, because the fact that David couldn't join us caused us to bring in technology that we had never really worked with before. And that was pretty flawless, if I remember correctly.
It was.
And
it was smooth.
And that gave you, Kelly, a lot of confidence as our tech person to stretch out and experiment with different ways and different means that we could do that. And from that, then it went to radio, right?
It would, we were gonna.
Well, you did Sedona. You did Sedona for David Palmer. Another event.
That was a fun event, and that was a big event, of course, with David and an amazing group of participants that are still very, very close today. We keep in touch via this, Facebook mostly. But that was a huge event. That was a huge undertaking for New 72, and that was a great learning experience for me as far as what an event of that magnitude and having David being the focal point there and what that was going to look like moving forward. So I learned a lot from that. But from there, we went to radio. Radio was the next step. And
now we have how many people?
We have 9 programs.
Nine programs.
And let's just talk about 9. So I will say not only 9 programs, but there's other programs in the wings that we're bringing forward. But the sacredness of 9. So 9's a sacred number. New 72 Media was named after the number 9. The resonance of the 3, 6, 9, and all the other universal synchronicities that fall in line with that beautiful Trinity, if you will. So yeah, that's where we're at. 9.
Awesome.
And it's moving forward really, really fast.
It is. And I know I've talked about this before, but you asked me about a year ago if I would do a show, and I freaked out and said, what am I going to talk about? There's no way I can get on live radio and talk to anybody. So I flat out turned you down. I thought about it for about 2 weeks, and then I turned you down. And then probably about 2 or 3 months later, I started thinking about it. And I don't think I ever stopped thinking about it. I thought, what would it be like to do a radio show? How awesome would that be? And what would that feel like? What would it look like? And so one day I finally just contacted you and said, all right, let's do it.
I know, it was so cool because you were the first person that I reached out to. I knew full well that News 72 was going to have a radio program. And I was like, Mary, I just like, you were the first person. And so when you finally decided to come on board, it was like, all right, this is like really, really cool. And so we started with Blog Talk, which was just, Blog Talk radio, which is
right. Audio only.
And it's kind of a safe way to approach radio because you can, you don't have to worry about a whole lot. But we upped it. We stepped up again and said, I really wanted to do the radio program differently. And there's other technology out there that I was exploring, but still, this live interaction, like right here, it gives everybody an opportunity to get to know you, me, Cinda, whoever is in front of them. And that really began working with Jeremy White as we started.
Exactly.
It was like he really began to build these relationships with the people that were tuning in to, at that time, was just a program, The Voice of Odin, that was not on News 72 radio, but it's progressed obviously since then.
Yeah.
So this platform to me is just golden.
Yeah, to do radio and now be able to videotape it and to put it our radio program and then record it and then put it on YouTube. So people have the option to not only listen but to also now see you and feel like they can get to know you.
Right.
And your guests.
So now there's several different options. You can watch live like people are doing now. Right. You can tune in after the fact still to Blog Talk Radio because you're still posting the audio to Blog Talk Radio. And then you can watch the recording, the video recording off of YouTube.
Absolutely.
So it's a pretty diverse platform and pretty amazing.
And I'm so glad. I mean, and the feedback's been really great. Not only from we refer to it as the greater collective, those that are listening from that are not the presenters or the hosts, but from the hosts themselves. I think that they feel that it's a win-win for everybody, and that's what News 72 wants to provide, is a win-win for everybody. It's not about News 72 owning content. It's about us giving you that platform that you can plant your flag and have yourself be seen, and this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, it is. It is. So let's move into your next platform offering, which is the Portal of Awareness.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. I mean, it debuted last Sunday.
Yeah.
And so why don't you tell us a little bit about what the portal is and how that kind of came to you?
Boy, that one is for some reason right now getting me a little bit emotional, so I'm going to breathe through that for a moment. So that, it's interesting how spirit guides you. And that was something that I had actually, again, reached out to you and said, Mary, I have this idea. What do you think? Would you be interested in holding space for the collective? I said, I'm not quite sure what this is going to look like, but, we know that we are all forms of energy. And that if we can gather that intention on the same focal point of healing energy for, the greater good, the greater collective, that we can do great things. Yeah. And so the thought came again to use this beautiful technology that is so easily accessible to us, was to create these rooms where a space holder can hold a sacred space, whatever intention that is, and that people can just come in whatever context that is, and spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever that is, and help raise that cone of energy. And so we just started dialoguing around it, what it might look like, and it moved fast.
Yeah. It's hugely important when we think about where we focus our awareness, because wherever we focus our awareness is where we direct our energy. And if we choose to direct our energy in a positive way and direct our energy in all things that are sacred and filled with love, and especially divine love, then we can alter and change the frequency of the entire planet. So, Kelli opened the very first portal, which was about a healing of Gaia. And so when people showed up, there was a beautiful video she was playing of pictures of Gaia. And there was beautiful music in the background. And then she came on in the little video screen and introduced the intention of what this place would be. And then for a half an hour, she drummed. And we just sat there in silence, sending out the intention to heal Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sacred and it was beautiful. And then we tapped into yours the next day,
Right.
which was about healing technology. And you had something similar in that you did show pictures, but then you introduced Archangel Michael, and then you included your intention and how it came about along with the prayer. And as I sat through yours, I mean, I've done stuff like for Gaia before to heal Gaia, but I've never sat in community from around the world with strangers holding the same sacred space for healing Gaia. But to tap into yours and to heal technology made me realize that of all the computers in my house, the only one that was turned on was the one that was getting healed. And so I'm going to tap in next week, and I'm going to turn on my upstairs computer, my husband's computer, and all of them are going to be tuned in.
iPhones, everything.
All of them are going to be turned into your portal, your sacred portal. Is 7 o'clock on Monday.
7 a.m. on Monday.
And for a half an hour, I'm going to sit there and hold space, because if we think about how the greater collective, using Kelly's terminology for New 72, the greater collective is really just this net of people that are all connected in different ways and in different faiths and in different, belief systems, but we're all collected and we're all part of the energy surrounding this net surrounding the world. And but then when you think that New 72 can create what we're calling the New 72 collective, and you're part of that when you become and own a radio show or a portal, you become part of the New 72 collective that then taps and gives the greater collective a reason to show up.
Yeah, right.
And then you give them a channel or a funnel in which to direct their positive energy, to bring in their awareness. But you take that out into technology, and you have this whole grid system that everything is connected through the web, literally, the internet. And imagine the healing that we can put in, not just to heal technology, but through that internet. So, the concept and the potential is gigantic.
Yeah,
gigantic.
You're global right off the bat. I mean, and it's important to share. And the beauty about the portal is that it's an individual creation.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no specific way. I mean, an individual may want to be a sacred space holder and do static dance, and somebody can watch that person doing static dance with a specific intention, or they might just want to be drumming and chanting, or just there may be their altar may be shown with candles being lit and flickering. And so there's no parameters in terms of what the possibilities are.
Exactly. Or what the intention is. It's not a venue to self-promote or to sell ideas or to sell products. It is meant to be a sacred space, to hold sacred intention, and a place to bring people's awareness into focus and to send positive energy through that funnel.
Right.
To raise that energy.
Yeah. So I know when I created my portal, the technology healing portal, it was important to me so for all of our viewers, what I did was I created a PowerPoint presentation, which is really what ran for the portal. And it had pictures of nature in the background, and it had some beautiful soothing music playing in the background. And then I had slides that kind of explained the intention of the portal, but I felt it important also to explain kind of how I came to be a technology healer. And I tried to keep it brief because I didn't want to focus on that. But I think this is something that's just so new out there that it had to be explained. How I was guided to do energy work on computers, and how I had no clue what that was going to look like. And then I was guided to take Reiki 1 and 2 classes, and then I started performing Reiki on technology, and how all of that came about. So I tried to keep that at a minimum, but then I kind of walked everybody through doing actual healings on their computers. We brought our angels and guides into the room. We brought Archangel Michael into the room, and we did the the whole healing of the computers. There were a couple of different methods that I walked everybody through. And then we had 17 minutes of just a slide with the soothing music, and the focus was for everybody to kind of put their healing energy into that. And I was actually sitting at my computer as a participant. I was running it on one computer, and on my iPad, I was a participant of the portal, putting my own energy into that. And I actually was doing Reiki on all my computers that were sitting there as we were doing the show. So the whole premise of that is to get that healing out into the world of technology. Exactly. So it was a portal that I created that I feel it's very important for us to do the technology healing, and that the more we do this, and the more I do this, and the more that everybody does this through the portal, hopefully my hope, the intent is that the proliferation of malware and viruses and technology issues will go on the decline.
Absolutely.
Well, and that will be the intention and the goal for every portal that anyone has.
Absolutely.
Is to bring down the negative energy by finding a place to funnel our positive energy.
Yes.
And to think that around the globe, multiple people are tapping in at the exact same time with the exact same intention, which means something to them and raises the whole frequency of the planet specifically for that intention.
Exactly.
I mean, it's unheard of, you know, and I'm so excited. I'm just so excited by it.
Yeah, and you know, it's like we've heard of those mass meditation days, right?
Yeah.
But I just think that, wow, you know, if we can really, I mean, use this energy. I mean, this is a conductor. They are portals. They are a portal to tap into the etheric that really can transmit that energy so much further. In my, you know, we know it to be true. We can reach every corner of the world with this.
Exactly. Yeah, and our goal is to have as many people that want to be sacred space holders to sign up. It's a minimal amount. It's $36 a month. Mm-hmm. And for $36 a month, Kelli will produce you a link that you then can use as often as you want that month.
Yep,
at any time during the day of the week in that month. And when we offer a discount if you decide to buy an entire year in advance. But it is a minimal cost for you as a sacred space holder to get your intention out. You can have as many intentions as you want.
Yeah.
So if Kelli wanted to do Healing Gaia and she wanted to do one every single day of the week at a different time each day, she could do that. Or if she wanted to do one for Healing Gaia and one for something else and one for something else, and she did 3 totally different ones during the week, it would still be the same cost for that month. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
So.
And the intention is to really grow. I mean, right now we can hold, you know, a certain amount of number in a room, but we are going to hold mass amounts. I mean, we will continue to share the word. The energy will be felt. People will be called to seek us out. Mm-hmm. We will, you know, our vibration will be felt. People will come, and those portals will fill. I can't, you know, it's going to be an absolute blast to watch. I mean, all of it has been an absolutely spectacular journey thus far, and we continue to make it so. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. I know I've had requests from various people to do the technology healing at various times during the week. You know, I do it Monday morning at 7 a.m., but there are a lot of people who have already started their day and they're probably at work at that time. So I've had requests, can you do it in the evening? Can you do it on a weekend? So I know with your portal that there's no limit to the amount of times that I can broadcast this portal or open this portal of intention. Right. So right now we're Mondays at 7 a.m., but I foresee in the very near future that we'll also be doing an evening portal and maybe a weekend portal, who knows. But I have to say, one of the things that excites me the most about this portal is the fact that there will soon be a day where I can wake up every morning and I could look at the portal schedule and say, oh, wow, there's this going on at 6, there's that going on at 7, and maybe that at 8, and I can decide what I want to tap into. And it's really exciting for me to be able to tap into a portal first thing in the morning when I wake up and know that there's other people tapping in at the same time, and there's all that energy going out there.
I love the way you present that. That's exactly what the intention is. It's like, every morning when I first put my feet on the ground, my first thought is of gratitude for that experience. Here I am giving Mother Earth gratitude. I'm so grateful for whatever that is that's pouring through me at that moment. And that is exactly the energy that we want everybody to tap into. So I love the fact that you're looking forward to scrolling through that calendar and say, oh, let's do this today. Just so you know you're moved. Right?
And the thing that comes to my mind that I think will be the most important aspect of this portal of awareness is, you guys, if you see me making faces, it's because my dog, I just let my dog in and she's roaming around just ready to knock something.
Here.
Just knock something over, and she's rolled in goose poop out there, and so she stinks.
And she's sharing her smelly love with all of us.
Yeah, so I'm just so afraid she's going to do something horrific and knock something over. But if there were another worldwide tragedy that were to happen in the next few days, one of the most important things that people ask is, what am I to do with this awful feeling that I have within me? How do I help? How do I help? What is it that I can do? And we all know, those of us that are in this spiritual work, that the last thing we're supposed to do is experience fear or anger and add to that energy.
Right.
So instead, if a traumatic experience were to happen somewhere on the globe, and we knew that we could come to New 72 Media, go through their portal of awareness on their website, find the calendar, and see all the people across the country, across the world, that are doing and holding sacred space for healing for that particular area on the planet, I know that I can sit there and tap into that energy and not be alone, and leave in 20 minutes, a half an hour, feeling like I've contributed to the healing.
Absolutely.
And that, to me, is hugely important.
I can agree. I'm so glad you brought, and that was one of the reasons why it was created, for that reason alone, because we all know what happens when we have these events that take place. Most of society gets very reactive in a negative way, and not to say that it's not, and not that it's not warranted, but we want to alter that. We want to change the vibration of what others have chosen to project, and let's alter everybody.
Exactly. So, and we know those events are taking place almost on a weekly basis, far too many times these days. So we now know that when one of those events takes place, that the portal of awareness will be opened up, and the room will be opened up, and we can all tap into that energy.
That is a priority for New 72. Yeah. When a portal is warranted and it needs to be taken care of, it will be taken care of. There will be something available, and normal social media outlets will be to get the word out to say it's open. Let's do this. Let's all join.
So New 72 has committed themselves to actually creating a portal, but that doesn't mean if we've created a portal for something that there can't be 100 other portals with the same intention opening up at different times from different places, because everyone that is a sacred space holder will have something new and a different little bit of energy to contribute that will be necessary for the greater collective to heal.
Exactly. So I know that one of the things you and I talked about when you were first designing the portal and bringing it up was the fact that it's a great vehicle for your daily spiritual practice.
Absolutely.
Great vehicle. And I know there's a lot of people out there who struggle with their daily spiritual practice. And this is one of those ways in which you can kind of tap in and just get into the energy of whatever is going on in the portal. Before this came along, which is only a week old, less than a week old, it's like 5 days. So I know for me and my spiritual practice, it's always been okay. I wake up in the morning, and one of the first things I do is I go to YouTube and try and find a meditation. And there's tons of meditations on YouTube that anybody can pull up and tap into and do. But it's so much more fulfilling to know that you're doing it live with other people, whatever it is,
Right.
whether it's holding space for Gaia, whether it's healing technology, whatever anybody decides to do.
Oh, there absolutely is. And I think that, that practice of mindfulness, we all know how busy our lives are. And to be, I don't want to say, it's not a matter of needing to be structured, but it's just getting in the habit of, and that habit can be challenging at first. And even if you're the most practiced person that practices mindfulness or meditation on a daily basis, it's still sometimes life can present it. So one of the reasons again behind the portal was that people could go into that place of reflection and awareness and mindfulness and really ground into the daily practice of it. So
yeah. So since we're on that subject, and the two of you, you're kind of like people I look up to in terms of spirituality and the spiritual world. What kind of daily spiritual practice do each of you have? What is it that you like to do every single day to make sure you're furthering your spiritual education or your spiritual awareness?
Well, for me, I read. And then I got tired of reading. And now I just decided it's time for me to write instead of to read, or to speak instead of to read. I think in our spiritual journeys, one gets to a point where it has to become their own words that they're speaking and saying, and maybe not so much someone else's, although I know I still tap into what other people have taught me and bring that forward. So what do I do on a daily basis? It's not for me a practice as much as it's just a way of life.
It's an existence.
It's just the way that I choose to live, and I choose to exist, and I choose to communicate. And I really don't believe that there is a moment where I am not aware of something bigger and greater than me at all. I just don't. It's not like I need to say, oh, well, let me tap in and see what that is. It's like, oh, well, I'm already tapped in, so here it is.
Yeah.
It kind of took me a while to get to this point. I'm not sure where it will take me next, but it's just that you said it perfectly well. It's a way that I exist on a daily basis. I'm currently doing Oprah's and Deepak Chopra's meditation.
Yes.
And day 21 has already happened, and I'm trying to catch up, and then I'll be done with that. And then what will I do? What will my daily practice be? The portal, I guess. The portal. Come on, guys, sign up so I have more to do in the morning. What about you, Kelli?
I think you bring something up that's really important, is that the spiritual practice can take years to really ground into. And for me, today, it has taken integration of lots of experiences, a lot of past life energies merging, a lot of a lot of journeys that have kind of solidified the approach that I take, and so that can vary. But for me today, I'm a highly creative person.
Yeah.
So a lot of my spiritual practice is based in the exploration of what my mind is giving me, and in gratitude for the pictures that I get shown, because I'm constantly being shown ideas, or let's do this and let's do that. And so to me, that I walk in that spiritual practice 24/7, even in my dream state. It's like, it's very aware. So I'm constantly engaging with that aspect of myself, and that's very, very spiritual for me. And in that practice and awareness of such, just being grateful for that awareness, and being thankful that I continue to receive these beautiful pictures and this movie reel that plays in my mind that is propelling my life forward in a beautiful, beautiful way. So for me, that would probably be number one. And that's been integration of using runes, to drum journeys, to chanting, to saging my home, there's a myriad of things that take place. I just go as I'm moved. So that's my practice.
Yeah, that reminded me of, if there's anything that I live with, it's gratitude, divine love, and awareness. And I think as long as I'm practicing awareness, divine love, and gratitude, I'm going to be okay. I'm with my spiritual practice and where I'm guided and where I'm led and the decisions that I make. And, I forgot that every morning I speak to the water and I bless the water, and I send the water out in hopes that it will heal and bring peace and forgiveness and grace and joy and love and gratitude to everyone it meets. And then I feel like, okay, well, that's taken care of. Now I can move on. And then I speak to the angels on a daily basis. So,
yeah, we all have our routines. And I know for me, when I wake up, it's always some sort of meditation. I don't always achieve that every day, but it's a goal. And then it's a conscious practice of saying good morning to those angels and guides that are there with me every day, and sharing my gratitude with them. And usually through the sharing of that gratitude, there's usually messages that come.
Absolutely.
And, I know that the days where I've woken up and for whatever reason, I skipped that particular practice. I know that, the messages are harder to come by. And I know for me, since this show is for pretty much geared towards people who are kind of new to their spiritual practice, I know for me that when I first started this a couple of years ago, it was so new, and there was so much to learn. And I knew that things would come at me, and I would learn about crystals. I would learn about sacred geometry. I mean, you gave me the Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. Mm-hmm. You gave me that idea to read that book, which was just fascinating. And numerology, and learning about Archangel Michael, and then learning about all the angels. And it's being able to say, okay, I need to focus instead of letting all this stuff come to you at once. Kind of focus. And it's hard to do, but I've learned how to do it, and learn how to say, this is what I want to learn right now, and I want to learn as much about it as I can, and then when the learning stops, it's time to move on. And you have to be okay with moving on.
Absolutely. Boy, I remember, and Cinda can remember this as well, when I first started getting hit with, when I first started having these shifts taking place, it was all I could do to try to be grounded. I mean, it was really, really difficult. And we have a mutual friend that said that it's like I needed an interpreter because I was having a really difficult time articulating. And I think that when we go through a shift, regardless of where we are, we have to take time to integrate those energies, whatever that newfound knowledge or vision, or your sight or your hearing, or whatever that has shifted us forward. Mm-hmm. It can take a bit to go through that integrative process. At least it does for me, very much so at the very beginning. I was like, wow, did that really, And then I think my experience has been now that as I evolve into my own divineness and deeper understanding and awareness of it, those integrations are a little bit smoother sometimes. But those first, it can be, you got to be patient, I think, at the very, very beginning, because it can really throw you for a loop sometimes.
It can. And it all depends on your experience. Yeah. But I know for me, it was just like, okay, the train showed up at the station and it said, hop on. And it shot out of the station like a bullet, and it's been going at 150 miles an hour ever since. Yeah. So it's been a fascinating experience for me. And what I have discovered with this process over the past 2 years is that I look at my life pre-spiritual awakening and what it is like now, and there is absolutely no comparison. It's like life started at that point in time. And most of what I experienced prior to that led me to that spiritual awakening. But as time goes on, that has kind of fallen off to the wayside, and it's almost like it's a distant memory. And I have been trying to figure out, how did I exist in this world prior to experiencing all these things that I have? And I don't know if anybody has had the same types of experiences I have, but it's just been kind of mind-blowing to me that all the things that have been thrown my way in the past 2 years has just been amazing, just amazing.
The good that has come.
The good that has come, absolutely. The learning that I've had, the good that has come, the growth I've had in my business, in me personally, it's just been amazing.
Well, and then I think we also have a tendency to look at even things that might have crumbled us in the past. Now, with this newfound awareness and this skill set that we learned to be aware, is that we look at all things as a lesson of growth.
Right.
So we look at something and we say, wow, why did this just happen to me? Or what is this trying to teach me? Versus prior to a spiritual awakening, we're the victim, right? We're crumbling, we're on our knees, we're crying, how could this happen to me? My life sucks. Yeah. And instead it's like, oh, this is happening to me to help me grow. Because I believe that it is every single one of our intentions to spiritually awaken. You know, being a spiritual being on this planet in a human shell, we are supposed to be awakened in order to do the work we are meant to do. And through that awakening comes more and more and more awareness and more opportunity to grow and expand. And when we get to a point is when we are really supposed to be easing the suffering of self and others. So we work on self, but then we take this learning and we help ease the suffering of others. But once you've spiritually awakened, suffering takes on a totally different meaning. Suffering is only there to show us we're out of alignment. And the suffering will disappear and dissipate when we're back in alignment. And it's all this little, you know, Geiger counter, if you will, telling us, wait, no, suffer, pain, you're out of alignment. Okay, ease, back in the flow. No more pain, no more suffering.
Yeah. So it's interesting what the earth and the world is going through right now in terms of its ascension, if you will call it that. And I am finding, I don't know if it's just me because I am now more aware, or if it's the fact that there are now a lot more people on this planet who are becoming aware. But I have noticed quite a difference in my surroundings, in my world, about, you know, there's a lot more people out there who are more spiritually aware and trying to help the planet and humanity. It's been interesting, very interesting. So tell me, with all of that said, how can people find New 72 Media and the portal?
So New 72 Media has their own webpage, so it's new72media.com, and you can also query The Collective at new72media.com, and you'll get to the same place. So, and inside New 72, you'll see that there's a lot of things that we provide. You know, of course, we have the portal, we have the radio program, but we also, as I mentioned earlier, we do publishing. So we have a myriad of books right now that are in the pipeline to be edited and published. And then some event and collaboration in terms of branding and content creation for classroom settings and things like that. So with that being said, inside New 72 Media, we've just gone through this beautiful, really cool design, which is, you know, a really fantastic job, fun thing for me to, you know, Cinda and I have been really working, we all have been working on it, but just that creative aspect. But anyway, within that, if you go to, there's a flower that says the Portal of Awareness, and if you click through the Portal of Awareness, it'll take you to the calendar, the space holders that are currently involved. And of course, if somebody's interested in becoming a space holder, there's a way for you to reach out to us to let us know of your interest so that we can begin that dialogue to get you on the list and get that energy exchange started. So
awesome. And I know for me it was super simple. I mean, you go to the website, you click on your intent, There's a form that you fill out,
Yes.
and then Kelli creates the portal for you. And
there's training, all kinds of training. So
lots of training. You're not left alone
You're
out
not
there.
left alone. And if you need help with content creation, kind of getting an idea of what you want your vision to look like, then that's part of it too. I mean, it's like I said, it's a win-win. It's a very co-creative, collaborative energy that is around everything we do in New 72. That's
Right.
the word.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I am so thankful and so grateful that the two of you were able to come on my show with me and talk about New 72 Media and the Portal of Awareness. So any last words before we wrap this up?
Well, I want to thank you, first of all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For being such a leader as far as an individual who truly trusts, and I say this to you all the time, I'll say it to you forever, that you truly trust what it is that you see and feel, and you move forward full steam ahead. So you're a great role model, and I admire you greatly.
Thank you.
And I would say to the greater collective that, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have great content. There are other,
Absolutely. Yeah.
There are other hosts, program hosts out there, and if you're interested in something like that, please get in touch, because we want to help you be seen. The radio program is the voice, views, and visions of the collective, and that's exactly what it is. A place for you to stake your claims. So, and thank you.
Yeah, and we have what's called the collaborators and collaboration, and so at New 72 we are looking for people within the publishing industry that can help us grow our publishing branch of New 72. We're looking for editors, we're looking for graphic designers, we're looking for people that can work on the formatting of books that are coming in.
Distributors.
Distributors, agents, managers. For radio shows, we're looking for hosts. For Portal of Awareness, we're looking for sacred space holders. For webinars and meeting spaces, we are looking for people that want to share their message and don't know how to go about running their own webinar.
Right.
We at New 72 provide them the venue to do that. And every single person that comes into the New 72 collective will become part of our directory. Yep. And with that is basically advertising for anyone to click on that directory and see what every single person that is associated with New 72, what they're doing, what they're up to. And they click on that person's name and it takes them directly to their website, or a flip down switch will happen and it'll show all the things that they do with New 72, their webinars, their radio shows, their Portal of Awareness, the books that they've published, et cetera, et cetera. So we're still in the stages of creating that directory. We're still in the stages of creating the interwoven collaboration of everything that we do. But if anyone out there is interested in supporting us and wanting us to support them, if there are website designers that are out there that want to come underneath the umbrella of New 72, then they could be part of our collaborative team that then we will direct people to that need websites done. If there's an editor and there's a person that comes in wanting a book, and we have multiple editors under the collective of New 72, we can direct these people who have written these books to these editors. So it's an amazing way for people to grow their own business.
Absolutely.
It's a multifaceted business that Kelli, Mary, and I have created that
So
we
excited.
are so excited. Mary Holden.
Mary Holden.
Yeah.
Not me. Mary Holden.
Yeah. And we are very much the next big launch for New 72, I would like to say, is going to be right around the 1st of May. I mean, we're to tie up some things here in April and really push that piece forward. So it's that's the goal, but we take it one day at a time. But it is, as Cinda has just painted the picture, a beautiful picture that has been, that was seen. Actually, I just remember this. We actually met here in the River House one afternoon. I came back from a job up the gorge, And we drew it out. We drew out a lot of this at this table right here in this room. Do you remember
How
that?
exciting. That's
I
awesome.
remember. And the Gorge is a highly spiritual place. I mean,
It is.
for me, and I came back I was in the Dalles, and I came back and I was like, oh my gosh. And we spent a couple hours here at that table right over there and just painted this beautiful picture.
I had forgotten about that. Oh, wow. That's
awesome.
crazy.
So anyway, to see it really, it's just really exciting. We're just really, really excited. So
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you both very much. I so appreciate you coming on the show.
thank you for having us. This
All
has been
right.
great.
Perfect. So Kelly, with you being the technician behind the scenes, I'll have you end out the show.
All right.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you very much.
Love you all.